Hey everybody, this is Scott, and this is the session recap, and it's for the 4th of February, and had a few technical problems, so we're recording this a little later than normal, but hopefully it'll still be there in time for you. All right, first thing to notice here, we're on the euro, as we got a bear flag. A bear flag is bearish in a downtrend, so we're looking for a continuation to the downside. The target is the 1.3429 even number. For 2 days, this currency has done nothing. Welcome to the world of the euro. Dollar, okay? It's a piece of junk. But that's available tonight, and of course, it might even get 2 trades all the way down to here. The ATR on that currency is 76 pips, so not a lot of ATR for it to work with. All right. Over here to the British pound, and the British pound, we had a good trade last night on the British pound, and we made the average trader made 157 pips on this move to the downside. As you can see, we identified that yesterday in the session recap that you're the same one you're watching here. We identified it yesterday, and our traders reported 157 pips on average on that move yesterday. Okay, so what are we doing now? Well, let's pull this up to the 240 chart and take a look at it. And what you can see is, well, it's pretty hard to see here in the 240, but we're sitting here on the day chart bottom, seeing if we can break it. Let's take it down a little bit lower so it looks a little bit easier to see. And we can see there's a real possibility here on the 60-minute chart of a head and shoulders, all right, which means this is the neckline. So a break of the neckline means we're going to reverse and go to the upside. If they don't break the neckline and they take this bottom out, that means we're committing to go down to here, all right? So you got to wait and see what's going to happen. If they break this to the downside below 62.94, we're looking to go down to 62.20 or 70 pips here, all right? If we break to the upside, we're looking to go up to 63.81. All right, so it's just a matter of waiting for that and seeing if it'll happen. Again, the ATR is 100 pips for that. CAD, the dollar CAD, there's nothing to do here. We're at the top of a trend line, and we've already taken a target out at the R7. We need a retracement. We're not getting any. So until we get a retracement, there's nothing to do in the Canadian dollar. Over to the Swissy, okay? Swissy is intimating that it might do a breakout here, okay? So we get that information from our charts as it's pushing in the 60-minute to the upside. All day it's been pushing to the upside in the 10-minute world, but you can see, especially in the 240 world, we're trying to go to the upside. Will it do that? I don't know. It's got to break a J-chart top right here to do that. So until it does that, there's nothing to do. We are still officially a seller as long as we're inside this day chart. So be aware that we are a seller. And you know, if we come in here, you can now see that we're inside a triangle. Anytime we're in a triangle, symmetrical triangle, we wait it out. So it's either going to break to the north, in which case we're looking for this double top up here, and that's about 91.25 or so like that. It's at 90.76. There's about 50 pips there, all right? Once you get a break, hook and go, all right? You break to the downside, we're looking for a very small trade down here to about 9,000, only about 35 pips there for that. So not a big opportunity on the dollar Swissy, all right? All right, over to the dollar yen. The dollar yen now has pulled to the downside here, and is now bouncing. And we know that the dollar yen is potentially trying to move to the upside. Why do we know that? Because the dollar index is in position to make another move to the upside. As you can see here, if we were to do the waves here, we got a 1, 2, 3. 3 is not finished, then a 4, and then a 5 up to the upside. So, you know, we're looking for dollars to continue to be bought. If that's the case, the dollar is the base currency here, and you can see they are currently buying them, right? So the big thing is, what are they going to do right in here? Right in here is the area that if they come up to here, they could sell it off. And if it does that, you want to make the trade. Where do you want to make it to? The next target is 171 from wherever that makes a turn, okay? So we'll still be looking for that because we are a seller, all right? But if it does break out, we're looking to go to 102.90 area right up in here, all right? The ATR of the dollar yen is 96 pips currently, all right? So it could make either one of those runs. Aussie dollar, right? Aussie dollar, this was a trade from New York session this morning, was the breakout of the top at 89.30. So we're in this trade live right now. You know, it occurred after we closed the room, but we talked about it extensively in the room. And it has an ATR of 90 pips. You'll recall I told you in the room that you can trade this all day because it's an Aussie. So right now you should be up about 25, 30 pips, looking for a target of 89.64. All right. So we'll see if that materializes right here. Obviously, there's another target, which is the trend line top at 89.90 area up in here. All right, but right now this trade is a live trade underway, up about 20 pips, looking for that target. Overall, that would be about 40 pips to the top. So, all right, so we'll see what happens with that. Euro pound. Euro pound is still inside a bear flag, and you can see we're seeing the same thing we were talking about over in the UJ, an attempt at a reversal, and you can see here this is actually pretty well underway. Everything on this chart says don't even think about a sell for a while because we're going to continue to move this up. Now, right now, it makes total sense because we're at the bottom of the trend line and nobody can make this trade to the trend. So they need to go up, but how high will they go? So we'll begin the process of looking for a sell at the 50%. We'll look for, again, at the 618 and especially up here at the 786 for a trade to the downside. But let's be very, very well aware of the fact that it may not do the down move at all. It may do an A, B, C, and because it appears that they are reversing quite a lot. So we'll look for one here about the 50%, see there, and we'll look again up here at 138.59. But you've got to make sure this currency proves that it's going to do that, folks. It's got to prove it, not just take a whammy, I think it's going down, I think it's going up. Forget that. Let the chart prove what it's going to do. All right? Same thing with the pound yen here. Again, we see all the yens are moving up. Why? Because they've moved to the bottom. Professional traders won't sell them at the bottom. They'll wait for them to get to the top. So the question is, okay, they've got an A, B, C. We're underway in a C. Up here around the heart line area, 166.52, we'll look and see if they sell it down. Now, they may want to just, this may be the start of a new uptrend, by the way, to the top, right? Which this is now, after every 6 candles is a day, so this is now the day chart trend. No longer is it a 240 trend, it's a day chart trend, right? So when we look at it from that perspective, we can see that we're very close here to breaking out here. So this becomes the line of demarcation right here, the first one. If we break to the downside here, then the trade is still on, the downtrend is still in force. Breaks up here to the heart line, and breaks to the downside, then the heart line is still in force. Comes up here, the heart line pulls down, and then bounces up here. Now we're looking at making a uptrend, a 40-minute trend up to the day chart, okay? So that's the pound yen. Over to the New Zealand. Again, you trade this all day. We see it's following the Aussie. It's moving to the upside. And, you know, right now, if we got a sell, we'd definitely be interested in it because we're in a downtrend. All right, you can see that. Making lower highs, all right? But the prevailing market movement is suggesting that we are in the process of either a strong correction or we are in the process of actually reversing the currencies. And we know that we had an RBA, Royal Bank of Australia, announcement last night saying they were going to ease their tapering, which is why we saw those big moves on the Australia last night. New Zealand follows the Australia, and so they reversed last night. New Zealand has also reversed. So I'd be sitting on the sidelines unless you got the sell here. Again, make it prove it. All right. Over to silver, for those of you who can, it's just going sideways, doesn't really know what to do. Our target is 18.89 to the downside. If we get that, it's at 20.06 if we get the buy. All right. Not much to do there. All right, Aussie yen, again, they have all broken out to the upside, and there you can see we're now underway on this. This was a trade we discussed this today, that if we broke up in this area, we would be looking for this trade right up into here. That means it's continuing on, and of course, that's exactly what it's doing, is making the move to the top. Now, you can see there's a top up here, so that could easily send it to the downside again. All right, so be careful, right, of this trade. But if you break out in here, you want to be making a trade up to 91.81, which is back up to where the support was, right up in this area right in here, right? So, all right. Now, Aussie Chief, traders got, that's Aussie yen, I'm sorry, never mind. We get the Aussie Chief, we did make some money on that. Euro pound, all right, the Euro pound, we're sitting here stalled at the top of a trend line, all right? Now, the question is that a head and shoulders? If that's a head and shoulders, that's the neckline, and a break to the downside gives us this trade and then this trade. So trade 1 and trade 2. Trade 1 is down at 82.20 area, and a break hook and go, especially below the 8200, is going down 81.58. The euro pound pays 63% more money than the euro dollar. That's why we want to trade it. So, if you get that opportunity, don't miss that opportunity. Let me pull this down into here. So both of those are trades that we want to take advantage of. We'd also take the trade below 81.50, but that would exceed its ATR. The ATR of the euro pound is currently euro pound. Let me see it. 56 pips. So just down to this first one is probably all she'll do. All right, Euro Aussie, great opportunity during the night, as you can see. Euro Aussie, our traders reported 169 pips average on this trade last night. 169 pips was the average, okay? We're now working a pole, and we've actually broken through the pole. Let me squeeze this up a little bit. You can see that. So we're actually trying to continue this move to the downside right there. All right, so let's take this up. Let's go to a 60. Let's go to the 240 so we can see it. All right. So we're underway pretty well down here. You can see our next target is the S6 here, but we've got to watch these bottoms. There's a bottom here, and there's a bottom here, and a bottom here. So the S6 makes sense for the bounce, and you can see that's an unsustainable trend. So if you get an opportunity to trade this down to 50.70, you want to do that, but you want to move your stop really tight because that is without a doubt a bounce point for a move to the upside. Well, if it doesn't do that, it takes the week chart out, there's a huge opportunity here. I wouldn't be expecting that prior to non-farm payroll, though. That's a pretty aggressive move at this point in time. So, all right. Over to the CAD yen, again, we're seeing all those yen crosses moving to the upside, so we're looking for it to come up here. We're going to sit on the CAD yen and not do much with it and see if it comes up here. If it does come up here and sell, we will be interested in that trade right there. That would be a sell-off of 92.30 area back down to 90.82. All right, so that's a big trade for the CAD yen. All right, so probably not going to see that happen at this point in time. All right. Pound Chief, all right. Pound Chief is broken out right now and bounced back up, and you can see the currencies are being told. Our charts are saying, watch for the buy, 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 watch for the buy. All right, so that means that we may get a move back up into this old trend. This would be a false breakout here. We're seeing we got a break and a hook, but we never got to go to the downside. So if you break back up in here, we're back in the old trend, and we're looking for a target all the way up at 49.67. The ATR of the Pound Chief is 135 pips, so we can go about 4 T30s, maybe 5. All right, so that's every one of these lines is 30 pips or a T30. So I like them both. If it does break to the downside, we're looking for a double bottom and then all the way down here to 45.66. Let me go over here to the Pound Aussie. Pound Aussie, and it's continuing to break to the downside, as you can see, because of the Aussie part. Aussie is going up, which means the pound is going to the downside. It's testing this bottom, and it appears that what they're doing is they're actually adjusting this trend out to here. So at this point in time, I'm going to bring it out to here. All right. That gives us room down here, and we're looking for a trade down to 82.61. We take this to a 60. You can see the break, hook, and go. There was a 55 pip move down to there. That was nice, all right? And actually, that was the pole. Sorry, that was the pole from yesterday, and we went to there easily. And so we're looking here now at 82.63, going down to 81.97. So we got about 60 pips here, folks. So with 60 pips, we'll look for a continuation to the downside. Let's let it square up right in here. It's got to square up about the 8,300. When it squares up at 8,300, you look for the opportunity to sell it down to the downside, down to 81.97. Okay, and the ATR of the Pound Aussie is 212 pips. So we can probably easily do that one right there. All right, now Pound Aussie was an alert from yesterday. It's a 100 pip trade for our traders. Let me pull it up here. So this is an IC alert. It's an alert that all of our traders who are live room subscribers get. Comes to their computer, comes to their cell phone, also comes to their email. All right. So it comes in a timely manner. That was at 5:30 yesterday afternoon before any of this happened, and the sell was at 86.20. All right. And after a pullback, okay, and then you want to sell it to below 85.50. You want to add below there, also below 8,500, and then you want to hang for 8,400 if possible. All right. So where did we go? Well, we're currently at 82.85, so we blew that out of the water. All right. But traders reported on average of 99 pips on that trade last night, so not too bad right there. So. All right, so we'll put that away now, all right, and we're looking for the continuation of that move. You can see there's a lot of opportunity to the downside. Don't miss the Pound Aussie, folks, if you get an opportunity to trade it. All right, Euro New Zealand. Euro New Zealand had a pretty strong break this morning. We missed this trade because it all went at one time. All right, we were sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for it, and then all of a sudden, bam, she just went. All right, and there's not much you can do about that. As you can see, we're sideways here, and all of a sudden, bam, just went right down, and we can't trade right into a target here. See, that's a stall. Now, from here down, 66, our target is 64.09. So we do have a trade to the downside here. So let's flip this over. All right. And we're still looking for a sell to the downside to the 64.09 right in here. All right. All right. All right, Pound New Zealand. Pound New Zealand, we made this trade last night. Traders made this trade. They reported 66 pips in profit. And we're still looking for the continuation. This was the trade we were looking for this morning during the New York session, was this break right here. We talked about this break over and over and over again, and bam, there she went. All right. First target was here, so trade one has already been taking place. Traders who made that have already made about 35 pips. Okay. Now, the deal was to break, hook, and go before that and trade it down to here. So we've already had the break and the hook. You can see it right there, that wick coming up, break, a hook. We're in the go part. So we're trading this down to, so let's put the first one here, which was the break of the bear flag. After market hours. Remember, it has a New Zealand in it, so that's why we can trade this thing. All right, and then below here was a sell. All right. All right, so sell down. We're looking for, the first target is 98.55, which is the 1270 fib extension, and then we're looking for 98.33 total pips. Okay, so Pound New Zealand at this point in time has a 215 pip ATR. What does that mean? That means it can blow through this bottom right here. So let's see if we can't find another target to trade to. Let me take a fib extension key and see if I can do this. 1, 2, 3. And we're missing the 618 here pretty well. I don't like that, so we move that and try a different one. And let's take this one down to here. Gee, still the same thing. But, oof. Yep, I'm just going to go. Okay, so watch for this 1270 fib extension down here at 97.84. There's a real possibility you could get down that low because the ATR is so big on this currency. And that's why we trade these big currencies, folks, is because of that. All right, New Zealand yen. All right, New Zealand yen has continued to the top as we thought. You can see a lot of push to the upside. That's because it's got the yen. You can see all of the yen crosses are making moves to the upside. All right. Now we are in a downtrend here. There's a lot of stuff here. I'm going to take some of this off so we can see it, and remove that, and we'll remove this one for now. All right. So you can see here we are underway, marching right up the hill to this top. So when we get to here, all right, there's nothing to do till we get up there. When we get to here, that's the line of demarcation. Either breaks and goes back to the 85.40, or breaks to the downside and we do a double bottom. All right. So we'll see that double bottom's at 81.36. The Aussie Swissy was a great trade for us last night. Traders reported 37 pips before the reaction. So we'll just see what happens here. We've now broken out of the trend very clearly, so we've redone the trend up here. And this was a trade there this morning right here going up to this top here. All right, so we'll take this off. No longer in play. We're now looking for the buy. Right, so it's firmly in place now. So we reversed everything. You got to be adaptable. Once the market says we're not doing that anymore, all right, so there's the target. There's no way to trade it into the 8100. That's where we're headed. But a break above the 8100, you're looking for these targets back up in here, 8130, and maybe as high as 8228. And the Aussie Chief has 107 pip ATR. As you can see, it has just finished its 107 pip ATR right there. So tonight we'll see if we get 107 pip up there. That's what we'll be looking for, right? So, all right, folks, that's what I see. Have a great day, and we will see you soon.